Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, here in Coventry for the Hennessy show on Saturday night, joined by River Wilson. Ben, how are we, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Very good, very good. IFL TV debut, so just going to quickly brush over your winning of the Midlands title, obviously a defence this weekend against George Farrell. I said to you, undefeated fighter, first title fight, and you stop him in 3. If you're going to win a belt, it's one way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, man. It was in a big fashion. I had to make a massive statement on the show for Hennessy, just to prove myself, and there you go, mate. I had the stage and I proved myself, yeah.
Obviously, every fighter dreams of one day becoming a world champion, but I don't know, to be called the man of your area, the man of the Midlands, it's a bit of a tag there. It must have been something you would have had in your sights, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Man of the Midlands. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, sound.
Mate, I'll be flaunting it about telling everyone I'm the hardest man in the Midlands. Yeah. But so you won that, and the best night of your career so far. Try and recap the emotion for me a little bit, because people will see that, but then I suppose you go back and you got the belt and that, and there's all that sort of stuff.
It was crazy. So obviously the knockout happened, and obviously I'm looking around first because obviously used to the crowd being there, and normally I do a shed load of tickets, so I would have done probably 300 plus for that, and obviously no one was there, so I've just been calm and collected, made sure he was okay as well. Do you know what I mean? He got up fine, and then afterwards as soon as I got out of the ring, my phone was going off crazy. I got obviously hold of all my mates. I went back home, see my friends and family, and it was overwhelming. It was amazing, like the support and just the feeling of being the champ. Yeah, it was good.
I can imagine it gave you sort of motivation to think, if that's how good it feels to be Midlands champion, wait till I can get my hands on the British and the European. It sort of gives you that push, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely, man. And definitely the push and drive to go through. I want to do it properly. The English, the British, the European. Do you know what I mean? I want to go all the way. Yeah, exactly. And I want to do it with. Well, now I've got the backing from Hennessy. It's possible. Do you know what I mean? Being the home fighter. So.
Yeah, you talk about being the home fighter. Obviously, there's a couple lads here who've experienced the away corner. What was because forgive me, I'm not too aware of your first couple of fights. When was your sort of signing with Hennessy? Was the Midlands title your debut?
Yeah. I've signed with Hennessy after that fight. Yeah. So that fight kind of went on the big stage, got the opportunity and smashed it. Do you know what I mean? So I knocked through the door, smashed through the door, as people would say, and grabbed the opportunity with both hands. And I did it, and now I've got myself a contract, and we're just pushing forward, happy.
And your first defence is in Coventry. It's in your manor. And a little birdie told me that you've done 200 tickets. There's only 500 people in the gaff on Saturday, and you've done 200 tickets.
Yeah. I've got literally massive support in Cov, and I could have done more. I'm still having people now ring me saying, "Riv, can you get me some tickets, please?" And I'm like, "Listen, you're just gonna have to you're gonna have to obviously watch it on TV, and hopefully my fight will get replayed." But yeah, it's crazy support.
And another unbeaten fighter, George Farrell. What did he say on stage? He said, there ain't too much of me online, which he sort of sees, I suppose, as a bonus. Are you too aware of much about him? Perhaps know anyone who's sparred him or such?
Yeah, I know a couple of people who sparred him and stuff, and I've been told good things about him, so I'm buzzing about it. I've seen a fight of his. He did box on one of the shows, what's been live streamed, so I did catch a little bit of information about him. He's good, and I'm buzzing for the opportunity to box another unbeaten lad. Do you know what I mean? Again, like I was saying to my manager, and I've said to many people, as long as I'm taking something, as long as it's like an O or a bout, I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Improving every time.
Yeah, because you said you want to do the traditional route, but is there more meaning when you beat someone who hasn't lost? Because you see sometimes for area titles, you can get people who've had 6 or 7 losses, and they might be good fighters, but just to look down and see unbeaten fighter, tick, unbeaten fighter, tick. Do you want the good fight to go with the belt? Because the belt's one thing, but beating someone who's worthy of being there, it sort of makes it even better.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I want to box the best, and if you look on some people's records, they're fake. Do you know what I mean? They look at them and you think, oh, he's boxed. Oh, he's had 200 losses. Oh, he's had 100 losses. And you go down to mine. Okay, you look. Oh, he's beaten another unbeaten lad. So I'm just testing myself every time. And when you're boxing beaten lads, they've never lost. So in their mind, they're going in there to win. So you both clashing. It's going to bring out the best of the both fighters. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's just going to be good.
And you're only 8 fights deep as well. We're not talking about someone who is 15-0. Like, you look at someone like Lee McGregor off the top of my head, only had 12 fights and already got British, Commonwealth, European. I can imagine you're not here to piss around. You want to move, and you don't want to have fights against journeymen and tickovers and that. And if you stay injury free, it's belts and it's sort of constant progression.
Yeah, 100%. That's all we're here for. We're here for progression. And like I was saying, I've boxed. I've done loads. Like you say, I've had 8 professional fights. I had 57 amateur fights. Do you know what I mean? So I've got the experience. I've been in there, and I've been in there with some of the best lads. And yeah, I'm good at mixing it. I can mix it with the best. And
you must let your eye wander a little bit. I'm not going to say you're looking past George because I know you're not an idiot, but you must let your eye wander. It's a sexy division. There's some sick fights to be made. You must look at the rankings and go, God, I've got my eye on him, or I could do him, even though he's above me. That sort of thing.
Yeah. There's a few people I've got my eyes on, but I ain't saying no names. Yeah, there's a few guys obviously.
I'm trying to force a name out, but we'll talk about a name in a minute. But you do not look at the rankings too much, then?
Yeah, I do look at the rankings, and I think I'm ranked 18th at the minute. What's decent. And obviously after this win, I'm going to go up again, hopefully with the box rack points. I don't know how it all works out, but rankings are rankings, and at the end of the day, one day I will be at the top. That's what we want.
Idris Virgo.
The one and only.
The one, the one, the only, whatever he calls himself. Say that again.
The one and phony.
I like that. So your press conference was before his name was brought up. He had a little chirp from the back. You said something back, and then his press conference, you were still there, and it was sort of a repeat thing. I suppose it's a fight to build, both from the Midlands, both on Hennessy shows. It's not like it's something that's hard to make.
No, it's not fast. The only way that fight's ever going to get made if he talks himself into it. And he ain't talking himself into it. Do you know what I mean? He's like, people say, oh, so River said this, that, rah, and he would literally just be, who's River? I don't know River. Like, who is that guy? Yeah, who is that? Who is River? And it's like, mate, you're just avoiding the fight. You just don't want it. So, I don't know, man. He says that he's the best lad and the one and only. Where I'm from, we all call him the Journeyman Slayer. So, that's a great nickname to have, ain't it? But yeah.
What do you make of his actual antics of previous? Because I know today he seemed like he was having a laugh up there with Poochie, one of the journeyman legends of the game. But we've seen him throw water in the face of, I think the geezer was 0-10. We've seen him call out everyone under the sun. What do you make of them sort of antics?
It's like a game to him, ain't it? He's like the pantomime villain. That's how you'd like to put it. He likes to try rubbing people up the wrong way, and when it comes to it, when he puts on the gloves against someone serious, he's going to get hurt. He's made a rod for his back, ain't he? Really. So, yeah.
Would you call him out after this? Well, I suppose it's weird because I say would you call him out, but let me rephrase that. You'd be the man with the Midlands belt, so I suppose you'd have something that he'd want. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to force it to be made of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know positionally how it would work.
He's saying that, well, obviously when I did call him out, he's saying that he's above me, and we've had little separate interviews before where it's he says, she says, whatever. But he's saying that he's above me, he's better than me, like, I'll get in the queue, and and all this. But the problem, the main fact of it is he's rubbish, ain't he? He is rubbish. So, and if we did ever put the gloves on and we actually got in there with each other, I feel sorry for him. Do you know what I mean? Because he's just going to get hurt. It's going to be an easy night. I'd say Idris Virgo is easy money. Easy money.
You've just given me a golden title right at the end. Thank you very much. But yeah, obviously that is for the future Midlands title defence at the weekend. And it seems like, I know you'll want to have more exposure and you'll get that now with Hennessy. It seems like perhaps this country and the Midlands as well, as a youngster undefeated, hungry, that potentially this country can get behind.
Yeah, and that's what I love. Obviously, I've got the town behind me, the city behind me, and my town, because I come from a little town from up the road, Little Bedworth. But they're getting the whole city of Coventry behind me as well, and it's going to be right. It's going to be mad. Hopefully, the whole country can get behind me.